Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Coding Here. In the previous video, I had discussed how to create the REST APIs. So today we will discuss how to integrate the database and how we will work with Spring Data JPA in this video. Okay, let's get started. In STS, we will create two services, right? One is user service, one is fund service. So let's create one more time. So this is user service. Okay, and this is Maven Java 17. Next. Now we add dependency Spring Web. Okay, and the second thing is now we have to connect with database. So I am using MySQL, so we need the driver, right, to connect with Java to database. So we need MySQL driver. MySQL, this MySQL driver required. Then second thing is we need Spring Data JPA. Data JPA. Then next finish. So now user service project is ready. Now we'll create packages. One is controller package. Here in controller class I'll create one class which is user controller, and I'll make it as annotation at the rate rest controller and at the rate request mapping with slash user. Okay, so here mm, yesterday I had created one API like public string get user name. Okay, so here return some hard code value. Okay, hello world. Now this is get request, so we are using at the rate get mapping, and here we are using the path like slash user get username. Okay, so the default port number is 8080. I am just changing the port number. Port server dot port, this is 9090 I am running. Yeah, let's run this application. So here we are getting the application failed to start because we have added MySQL related driver. Okay, but we have not configured yet. So let's configure here. So I have already written the code here. I just copy paste. So to connect with database, first thing is we need URL, right? This is my URL, and this is 3306 is nothing but port number. So in this port number my MySQL is running, and this is database name. Next, username is root and password is password. Okay, now we will run this application. Yeah, now fine. Now the server started at 9090. Let's check localhost 9090 slash get username. See, hello world came. Now our application is ready. So now we will create our entity class. So in my first video I discussed like how user and investor and account has relationship with each other. Okay, so in here instead of investor I'll make it as this one investment. Okay, so one user have uh, list of investment. Okay, and one user also have list of account. Okay, so first I'll create user entity class. So let's create user entity class. So in entity package I'll create user and user have private and user id, right? Private string user name, private string password, then email, private string email, then list of investment. Okay, so private list of investment, investments, then private list of account, accounts. So let's create the investment also, create class investment, and account class also. In users, so I'll make it as at the rate entity class, and this user id is my primary key, so I'll make this one at the rate id, then at the rate generated value stat is equal to generation type dot identity. So purpose of this generation type, like this annotation actually is used to specify the key generator, like how our primary key is generating. So identity means this, it indicates, this identity means it indicates like the database will handle the generation of the primary key, right? So like it's an in my, I'm using MySQL, right? So it will be auto increment. Okay, the next thing is, so here I'll make the relationship, right? One user have many investments, so at the rate one to many, and I am using cascade equal to cascade type dot all. So what is cascade and how we are doing relationship, I'll make this one a separated video. Just think that this cascade in JPA means when we perform the operation like saving operation or updating operation or delete operation on parent entity, all those operations are automatically applied in also child entity, right? Suppose this is user, this is parent entity, and this is account is child entity. Whatever I will do operation on top of the parent entity like user entity, it will be apply for account also. That the main purpose of this cascade. Okay, there are different cascade is there, like persist, merge, detach, all. So I will make this one as separated video. Okay, at the rate join column, and I am mentioning is name equal to user id. Okay, this is the, this id will generate inside in investment. Okay, similarly here also same thing. Okay, now user entity has ready. Now we'll create the investment. So investment here in make is entity class. Okay, then private int, this is investment, right? Investment id and fund id, then private double amount, private date, right? Investment date. So investment date we are using date, but this is sql dot java dot sql I am importing. Okay, date, investment date, units of purchased. Okay, this is integer. Okay, that's it, right? Current investment value, private double current investment value. Okay, now this is my primary key at the rate id. Okay, I just copy pasted from here. Okay, similarly we have account class also. So in user we did not created the getter and setter method yet, so let's generate the getter and setter. Research, generate getter and setter, select all, generate, and I'll create the toString also. Okay, now the entity class is ready. One user have multiple investment and multiple accounts. This is investment entity class and this is account entity class. Now the entity class is ready. Okay, here first thing we will create one API which is save the user information. Okay, so public save user info. Okay, and this will take the user information related. So at the rate request body, then user. Okay, here so this will return also in user. Okay, so I'll just import it. Okay, now return null. Okay, now here I will make it as at the rate, this is post request, right? So this is, we'll use post mapping. In post mapping here I'll give the URL like save user. Okay, save user. Now API is ready. So first the request comes to the controller class, right? So here first the request come to this. Okay, controller, this is controller class, and now the request will go to the service class. This controller class will call the service class. This is service class, and now the service will call to the repository class, repo. Okay, this one. So basically in controller it will handle all the requests. First the request will come, and this one will delegates the request to the service class. Basically in the service we are writing the business logic here, and in the repository we are writing the database related logic here. Okay, so here I will create the service class in service packages. So I will create user service, user service. So here I will make it as at the rate service. Okay, now this controller class will call to service class. How will inject this service one? I will use user service. Okay, user service. So I will make it as at the rate auto. I am doing field injection. Okay, now this user service here, user service dot save user info. I'll call the method of save user info method of the user service by passing user. Okay, so I'll create the method, in here. So public, it's returning user object. Okay, now this service will call to the repository class. Okay, so I'll make it as repository, but I'll not make it this class because this is interface. So user repo, and this is extends from JPA repository. Basically, this JPA repository have given by the Spring Data JPA. So in this, so it have so many inbuilt method. Okay, we just extend this interface and we'll call the method. So first, this parameter is nothing but the class name, like on which class it will do the operation. First is user class. Okay, this is user class, and what's the primary key of this user? In the user, the primary key is user id, right? So the type is int, so here we will mention is integer. Okay, this is integer. Now it's done. Now in service class I'll inject this user repo, right? So repo user repo, so I'm injecting as @autoware. Now the user repo dot save up by I'll pass this user object. Okay, so it will return user saved user. Okay, so I'll return this one, return saved user. Okay, that's done. Now I'll go to the controller class. So it will also, I can directly return this one. Okay, return this one. So here instead of returning user directly, I can returning response entity of user. So instead of returning here, I just assigning this is save user info, then return new response entity of we can pass like save user info comma http status dot okay. Okay, now this is done. Now the request will come to this API. We are passing this user request, then this will call to this method save user info, and this save user info will call this user repository by passing this user object. Okay, then it will save the data to the database. It will return to the controller class, and the controller will return to the client. Okay, so let's start this application. Okay, now we'll check just in MySQL schema user, just refresh all. See here user investment and sorry account investment and user created. So now we'll try to save the user information. Okay, the first time user doesn't have any investment and doesn't have any account. Okay, so we'll pass only username and email and password. Just now we'll send the password in string format. Later when we'll implement the security, how we'll encrypted, all these things I will describe later. Okay, now our API is ready. Now how we'll send the request? One postman is there, through the postman we can send the request to here. Okay, so open postman, and here I just create one collection first. Let's say this is collection is user collection. Okay, and this is user. Okay, I'll add one request here, save user info. Okay, and this is post request. This is local host, right? So this one localhost 9090 slash user, then slash This is the API name. Okay, now in body select the rows, then JSON. In JSON now we'll pass this username, password and email. This user ID will automatically created by the database. So now I will pass the username here, username, let's say Raj, then password, right? This password Raj123, then email. Okay, email is, let's say raj123@gmail.com. So here we are not validating now, that one we'll do later. Okay, now we'll pass these things only. Okay, let's send the request. First clear the console here. I'm just clearing the console. See, now it's 200. So user ID is 1, username Raj, password this, email this, investment null and accounts is null. So first time account and investment is null. Okay, so user has created now. So I'll create two APIs. So one is save account information and save investment. So here I'll create two more APIs. One is save save account or create account. Okay, this is fine, create account. Okay, and I'll take as account as request body, account as request body. This is account. And the thing is, first what I'll do, will pass the account as well as the user ID, right? So I'll pass the user ID also. This is string user ID. Okay, how will pass this user ID? So I'm using path variable here. Okay, user ID. So we'll pass the user ID. Suppose I'll pass 1. So this one will store into this variable. Okay, so that's why I'm using @path variable string. Okay, this is I'm passing user ID. First I'll check whether the user ID is available or not. If it is available, then I'll append this account number, set this account to this particular user. Okay, so here I'll call this user service dot create account. Okay, I'll make this one also create account. Then here I'll pass user ID and second one is account. Okay, so it will return. Okay, first let's create this method. So this will return also user. Okay, so user ID came here. I'll call this repository, right? User repo. First I'll check whether this user is available or not. User report dot find by. Okay, dot find by id, find by id by passing user id. But thing is, user id is a integer, but we are passing string, so I'll make it as converted to integer. So integer dot percent of user id, and here I'll returning, okay, user. Now user came. So if user dot is present, then only I am reading the data, right? User dot get. Okay, so this one will return the user object. So I'll make this one this is something. Okay, this is user, available user. Okay, present user. Okay, present user. Okay, then what I'll do, once it will available, then I will append this account, or I'll set this account into this user, right? So here present user dot set accounts, this required list of account, right? List dot, okay, list dot of, I'm passing this account. Okay, now it's ready. Now same object I can save again. So here instead of this one, I will make this one as global variable. Okay, equal to null, then this one. Okay, now what I'll do, present, sorry, I'll call this user repo, right? User repo dot save of present user, then it will return. Directly I can do return statement. Okay, so first I'll check whether this user ID is available or not. Okay, if it is available, I'm just getting the user and set this account here. Then again I will save it. Okay, so this one, this controller will passing this one and it will return user object, right? So instead of save user info, I'll make it as user then status. Okay, okay, now it's ready. So we'll pass this user ID and request body is account information. Okay, so restart my application. Okay, restarted. So here I'll create, just duplicate this API, and here this is create account. Okay, so this is also post request, and the localhost user slash, the URL is this one, create account, as well as I'll pass the account ID. So already account ID created, right, for this one. So user ID. So user ID is one, right? For this user ID, I am creating one account. Okay, this body row and JSON related selected. Here in account, if we go to account, we need account IDs automatically will generate, then balance, account type, then create date. Okay, suppose this account type is, okay, just copy paste, account type is IR account. Okay, IR account, then balance, let's say this is something 2000, 2003, 4. Okay, then created date. Now the created date is, like, suppose I am passing today's date, right? 18 Jan 2025. Now the request body has created. Now I'll send the request. Okay, we are getting 400. Why? So if you'll check the console result, JSON parse error cannot deserialize value of type SQL date of string. Okay, so we are passing the SQL date is here, like this is DDMMYY, but here we have not mentioned in account. We just created this date, but we have not mentioned which type of uh, format it will take. So here we can make it as like at the rate JSON format, JSON format, and we can make it as shape, like shape equal to shape class shape dot string comma pattern equal to, suppose I am doing dt y. So here I have made this shape dot string. That means this ensure this field, okay, this field should be represented as string in JSON format, so that when it will come, so this value, this ddmmy, this should be JSON format. Okay, so now I'll restart that server. I'll try again. Okay, send the request. Yeah, now it's 500. Okay, let's check. Okay, unsupported operation exception null, immutable collection. Okay, maybe here in service class I have used list.account. Okay, instead of creating list of account, I can create list of account. Here accounts equal to new array list. Okay, then here I can add this accounts. Okay, this accounts. Okay, here I can add accounts dot add of account, then I'll send this list here. Okay, restart again. Okay, now it should be fine. Yeah, so now user id is one, username this one, email is this one. So in this user id have, this is the account information. Okay, so similarly also we can create the investment. Okay, we'll create one more API, similar kind of thing in controller class, like create one more API is, this is something create investment. Okay, create investment. Okay, similarly I will pass the user id as well as request body is investment. Okay, investment, and here I will pass investment instead of create account. This is create investment. Okay, this is also same name. Okay, now I'll create this method. Okay, create method, create account string investment. Okay, this one. So this will return user and string user id investment. Okay, similar kind of thing I'll do. First, what I'll do, first I'll do user repo dot find by id. Okay, this I'll pass here integer dot percent of user id. First, what I am doing, I'll read the user information. Okay, this is user information by passing this user id. Now I'll check if user dot is present, then only I am doing operation. Okay, so again I'll same, this is present user, and here I can make present user dot get, present user equal to user dot get. Okay, now the user is available. Okay, now what I'll do is same thing, right? So here I'll create a list. What list of, instead of list of account, this is list of investment. Okay, investment. So now here here present user dot set investment, I'm passing this investments, right? List of investment, this one I'll pass here. Okay, copy paste, but here I have not added the list investment, right? So list of investment dot add of investment. Okay, now it's done. Now I'll save, return user repo dot save of present user. Okay, now it's done. Now I'll go to controller class. It's returning user. Yeah, it's correct. Okay, now it's done. I'll just restart my, maybe it will come same error like in investment also have date. Okay, so similar kind of thing. In account what we did, same we did for investment. Now it's ready. Yeah, okay, it's created. Yeah, now just I'll create one more API here and duplicate. Okay, now this one create investment. Okay, here instead of create account, this is create investment. I am passing same one, this is one, and required body, this is row. Okay, in this here investment, if you'll see here, we need fund ID. Okay, so but now we don't have any fund. Okay, for now I'm passing any fund, otherwise I just fund ID one I am passing. Okay, investment ID will automatically created. I am passing fund ID, but now we have not created the fund services. Okay, so the fund ID is, let's say, 1. Fund ID is 1. Okay, then amount I wanted to invest, let's say this 2000 rupees. Okay, investment date, this one, true. Here thing is, unit of purchase we can't pass because this one will calculate on backend, because see, and unit of purchase also I make it as I think it's integer. Investment in, yeah, it's integer, it should be double, because here units of purchased will calculate by net amount divided by net asset value. Suppose amount I am passing 2000. Okay, suppose the net asset value is 1000 rupees, then unit of purchase is 2. Okay, so this one we should not be passed here, it will calculate by backend. Okay, now a thing is how we'll calculate, so unit of purchase like net asset value, so that one we have to create the fund service first, then only we can create this one. For learning purpose, just I am sending fund ID. Okay, and amount, and also current investment value also we need to calculate on backend. Okay, the how the current investment value will calculate, like it's a product of unit of purchase and net asset value. Okay, this one also we no need to pass. Okay, just send this one. Okay, yeah, now it's created accounts. This is investment ID, this one, fund ID, this one, amount, this one, unit of purchase and current investment, this is 00, because basically we have to calculate this one. Okay, so we need to call this fund services based on the fund ID. We need to fetch the fund details and we'll calculate these two things. Okay, so when the fund service I'll create, then I'll do all these stuffs. Okay, we create the user service now. So in the next video we'll create the fund services, then user service and fund service is different. So here unit of purchase is 0, this one is 0, so you need to calculate this one, right, based on the fund information. So I'll pass the fund ID to the fund services. Okay, and I'll get the information and I'll calculate this two field. So how we'll connect two services, I'll discuss next videos. Okay, thank you guys. If you have any queries, then please comment and please share and subscribe. Thank you everyone.